Pastor David, I'm here at our Thursday at 3, and today I'm joined by Dean Bosco. Welcome, Dean.
Thank you, David. I'm glad to be here.
Dean is a certified financial planner, and he's here today to help us unpack an upcoming event that I'm super excited about, a workshop on planned giving. As I go further and further into this journey, I am becoming more and more interested in being a good steward or a good manager of all the resources God has given me, and want to really take steps to make sure I'm sharing out of the abundance that God has given to me. And I find that I do that better when I plan for it than when I'm doing it spontaneously. And so I am super excited about this workshop we have coming up that will help us with some of the experts in our community and in our church unpack how to do some planning around being a good steward and being a generous person. And so, Dean, tell us a little bit about who should come to this workshop.
I think anybody who is interested in learning more about what they potentially can do to plan, to use the word that you used earlier, on how potentially they could structure their net worth and their world to be able to um, do something beyond themselves. And it doesn't matter whether you've got, you know, a great amount of wealth, God has blessed you with that, or a little. It's all about learning about new techniques and plan and how you can
Mm.
potentially plan to give during your lifetime as well as beyond.
Mm. Yeah, so I don't have to be Jeff Bezos. I don't have to be near retirement. I mean, when is a good time in life and stage to do this?
For the 30 years I've been doing financial planning, David, it's really simple. There are just some things that you can start now that
Mhm.
will set you up for the future. And whatever stage of life you're in, whatever your economic situation is, you and I were talking earlier, it's not to God, it's not about how much you're giving,
Mhm.
it's the heart in which you give it. And I just believe that there are ways that I can share and educate people so they can make informed decisions on how to do that might benefit both them and the church or other charitable organizations that they might want to give to.
I find that really helpful because I'm interested, both in being more generous now and being generous beyond my presence here on earth. I think that that's something that very much interests me. I don't plan to have $0 in the bank the day when I make that graduation. So I'm interested in both of those pieces, and so I'm really grateful that you're willing to work with us now. I find it very interesting that Jesus talked more about money than he did about faith, than he did about prayer, than he did about heaven. I think Jesus understood that our wealth is a part, how we use our wealth is a part of who we are, that it's actually a spiritual matter and a faith matter, which is what excites me about this. And I grew up in a context where money wasn't really talked about, or never was really talked about in
Mhm.
positive terms. It was always kind of a negative thing. There wasn't enough, or we just didn't talk about that, or spend, and so this isn't a high pressure situation, or I don't need to sign up for anything. Tell me a little bit about what that looks like if I were to come on that Sunday for the workshop.
No, this is so not high pressure. Um, we are approaching this from an education standpoint to equip people with information so that they can make some informed decisions. And speaking of that, as a wealth advisor and a financial planner, I will be coming from my perspective. We hope to have maybe some case studies and some
Mm,
stories to share
mm,
with people to give them some ideas of what I've worked with in the past and with clients. And we also have Jeff Hudson, who's an estate planning attorney and a member of our church, who will be
mm.
there. That he'll be able to weigh in on how to craft and different types of trusts and wills and all the things that he does to help clients do the same thing. And the whole idea is to give people the information.
Mm.
One of the things that I've learned in my business and my practice is that money tends to be an amplifier.
Mm,
If you're a generous person and you have money, it just makes you more generous.
mm,
And on the opposite side of that, if if you're, kind of miserly, then maybe money just makes you more so. And I think in some ways Jesus was implying that, when
Yeah.
he was talking about the rich man who approached him and said, I've got all these things, but I want to learn more. And Jesus said, you know, sell everything and follow me. And he went away, and he wasn't very happy
Yeah.
about that. So,
Yeah.
what this does is it's just simply putting the information out there, and then being given the space, giving everybody the space to ask lots of questions, and
Yeah,
we'll do the best
that's
we can
really
to answer.
helpful and appreciate that, Ty. It certainly is scriptural about how it's a revealer of the heart,
Mhm.
how we deal with that. So that's great. I know earlier when we were talking the other day, you mentioned that one of the ways that you'll present that information is case studies. And you mentioned a case study about someone that gave a gift, let's say, of stock.
Sure. So
I appreciate
very,
stock. Give me what is that about? Yeah.
very simply, I've had clients in the past say, "Hey, I want to give X number of dollars to my church or to a charity," and you could give cash. If you didn't have the cash, you could sell some stocks, and or the more or you could gift the stocks. Each one of those is great. You're doing out of the generosity of your heart. um, but for instance, if you sell a stock and you bought it for $1 and now it's worth $10, you got a $9 gain. And if you sell it, then you have to pay the capital gains to Uncle Sam and then take the cash that's left over and give it away. Um, a much more efficient way of doing that. And that's what we're talking about, is showing
Mhm.
people efficient ways to gift. You can take that stock and just gift the stock
Mm.
to the organization, and they can then sell it. And because they're a 501c3, they don't pay any tax. So you're able to gift that and not have to worry about it. Clients who don't necessarily need their required minimum distribution from their
Right.
IRAs. As a matter of fact, I get some clients that get a little cranky saying, I don't want that. I'm like, well, you have to take it. It's
Yeah.
required. But guess what you can do? You can do a qualified charitable donation and take your RMD, not take it and send it directly to whomever. And the tax is then foregone because it's a
Right.
501c3 that's receiving those dollars. So just simple stuff
Yeah.
like that. I'm sure lots of people will, I've heard of that before, but I'm hoping that they'll get some new information they haven't.
Yeah. Yeah. Very helpful. There's some advantages to the church and to us by
Mhm.
the relationship that can help us all the way around in our generosity. Well, Dean, I know you're a leader at our church. You and your wife Jill and your family have been a part of our family, and I know you to be a very generous person and a kind person who listens in this process. So why do you do what you do in terms of helping folks with this?
It is such a joy to me every day to work with people and helping them kind of strategize and figure out what they're going to do. So many people get so busy with life that all of a sudden retirement is coming up fast, or they're already in it, and helping them plan to make those decisions to figure out what their next big adventure is, how they're going to spend those dollars that they've spent a lifetime saving, and share those dollars with others. It gives me a lot of
Mm,
joy, that
mm.
and meaning, and I feel like I'm making a difference. I really do. So
Fantastic. Well, when is the workshop? Where is the workshop? And what time?
the workshop is on Sunday, April 7th at 2 p.m., and it'll be on our main campus. And we'll have detailed information as to what room that we're going to be holding that in. But we will have food and drink, and people will be able to come to service and maybe go run home or hang out on Park Avenue before 2 o'clock. But we will be there ready to share some information, answer some questions, and hopefully have some great fellowship as well.
Fantastic. I know it's kind of tucked here at the end, but I do want to say a personal word of thank you to Dean. Thank you, Dean, for your work in helping us launch our Four Pillars Counseling and Enrichment Center. You
Thank
are
you.
leading the team that did that, and that is really making a difference as we really serving hundreds of people in our community through the counselors. And so your legacy in that is greatly appreciated.
Thank you, David. I appreciate your kind words.
All right. Well, see everybody soon, and I hope to see you at the workshop.
All right.
God bless and
Thanks.
take care.